Okay, so I hope you guys can see this board on the left side, and we will just zoom out a bit of this code. Now let's compare the code. Now what's happening here? We are receiving the pointer to the board, so we have all the data of what is saved and stored on each index of the board. Now the first line says, if the board at index 0 is equals to x, that means this position is equals to x. Let me just change the color. This position. Okay, now board 1 is equals to x, so it is talking about this position, and board 2 is equals to x, and we are using the and symbol, the operator between them. So which means if all of these are equals to x, then the player is considered to be a winner. Now same is the case for row 2, same is the case for row 3, and you guys can compare the indexes here as well. So just let me give you the diagonal from left to right. So 0 is here, 4 is here, and 8 is here. So this is how we have utilized the indexed positions in our code to determine who is going to be the winner and who not. This is the same logic for the player 2 as well, just with the change symbol check, and we are returning 1 for player 1 winner and returning 2 for player 2 winner. I hope these demonstrations would have helped you in understanding this logic. Now let's move on to another part of this project. So another part of this project is that we are going to test our function, does it work or not. Okay, so we will call this as a winner, check winner function, and we will pass our array. Okay, so here we will print this check winner. Let's see what does it return. Okay, now we don't need this, so let's run this code. Okay, so enter the position 1, position 2, position 3. So player 2 is winner because we are passing the player 2 symbol. Now let's check this for player 1 as well, and if it is working for player 1, we will be satisfied with our function as well. Sorry, I just didn't update this, and let's update this. So position, let's try the diagonal. So 0. Okay, sorry, the diagonal is 1, and this is position 5th and position 9th. So player 1 is winner because we were using this. So all right, our function is working good. Now as we saw that our functions are working totally fine. Okay, now what we are going to do is to make a function that will check whether the game is a draw or not. So let's design a function. But before we design that function, let me have a quick go through about its logic. So as you can see that we have this figure, we checked every row, every column, and every diagonal to check whether player 1 wins or player 2 wins. Now, if all of the blocks are completely filled, for example, I will design a new pattern. For example, if we have this situation and all of these are completely filled by a user, so that means that if player 1 doesn't win, player 2 doesn't win, the last condition is that the match is drawn, because every block has been filled with the input by the user, and still neither player 1 wins nor player 2 wins. So that means the the game has drawn. Now let's design the function for it. So we will be returning and we will be using Boolean data. So we will be returning true if the game is drawn and false if the game is not drawn. So let's design the function check draw. Okay, we will receive the board as usual, character board, sorry, star board. Now within this function we will have a for loop, integer I is equals to 0, I is less than and equals to 8 and I plus plus. Now why we are using this, because we want to make sure that each and every block is filled with data. If each and every block is filled with data, that means the game is run. If something is empty, we will return false, because we may have some kind of conclusive result, either player 1 wins or player 2 wins. Okay, so let's have a check condition. If board at I is found to be space, then return false and break out of the loop. Okay, else we will return true. Now let's redesign our main function. Now how will our main function works? So we will have a main function as true. The main function will be true. Now first of all, we will have a text message saying that player 1 turn. Okay, then we will call the pattern, and then we will call the player turn function with board and player 1. Okay, so we have got a player 1 here, and we will be printing the pattern of the board after player 1 enters the data. Now what do we have? So we will have a function check winner. First of all, check winner. If check winner has the return value equals to 1, so that means C out player 1 is winner. Okay, and we will have handle. Now we will have C out, sorry, not C out, but we will break out the loop if this condition is met. Okay, now we'll just correct the spelling. Else check if check draw pass the board. If check draw is equals to true, then that means C out match is drawn. That's nice. And we have end L. Okay, and we will break out of the loop. This is going to be the same code for the player 2 as well, just the number will be changed from player 1 to player 1 to player 2. Okay, so we will paste the same code over here as well, and we will change the values now. Okay, so everything looks good, and I hope this will work. Let's check the code one time. So everything looks nice. Okay, so let's run our code. So it is working. Okay, and there is one slight blunder that I have done, that we haven't replaced it with player 2. Okay, so now it's everything fine. Now we will check our game for 3 conditions. One time we will try to make player 1 winner, second time we will try to make player 2 winner, and third time we will try to draw the game. Okay, let's have a look. So X here, and we will place O at the position 0, and we will X at 4 and O at 6, and we will place X at 7. So player 1 is winner. As you guys can see, it is clearly showing that player 1 is winner, and we have checked it for the player 1. Now it's time to check it for player 2 as well. So for player 2, we will have, first of all, for player 1, we will have this, and for player 2, we will have at third. Now we will enter just a random second, and we will enter. Now let's check it with diagonal. So we'll put at, sorry, this was not a diagonal. Okay. So we will put X at 5th position, I guess. Yes, 5th position. Yep. And we will put the O at 9th position. Okay, O at 9th position, and we will put X at 7th position, and we will make this 0 win. So we will put O at 6th position. And player 2 is winner. So congratulations, player 1 and player 2. The program is running well. The real test is going to be the draw function. Okay, so let's have a look and let's draw the game. So first of all, we will have X at position 1, then O at position 3, and then again X at position 2nd, then O at position 4th. Then we will have, okay, I will just zoom out a bit so you guys can see as well. Now we have to enter the value for player 1. So player 1 is X, and I will enter at position 6. Now we will enter the O at 9. We will enter the X at 5th position, and we will enter the O at 8th position, and we will enter the X at 7th position. And successfully, we have successfully made our tic-tac-toe game, and we have checked our 3 conditions. Player 1 is winner, player 2 is winner, and the match is drawn. So I will just show you this code once again. If you want to take screenshots to implement for yourself, you may take. So first of all, this void pattern is printing out our board pattern. Okay, then there is a void player turn function in which we are making sure that we enter the we are making sure that we take input from the user and store it at the right position. So these all conditions are for that purpose. Then after that, we have a check draw function in which we make sure that if the game is draw, so break out of the loop and show the message that the game is drawn. We discussed this thing, these all rows in detail with the visualization as well. So these are all used for check conditions, winning conditions. Okay. Okay, one more thing, if you do not write return 0, it will still work. So it doesn't matter. Okay, because we are just applying at 1 and 2. Now these are the arrays, the simple arrays, and the player 1 and player 2 symbol. You can have your own choice. You can exceed this game as well. Now we have a while true loop now we have here a while loop that looks like an infinite loop, but here are some conditions which doesn't let it to run infinitely. Okay, so we have all these conditions and if-else statements and cout to present the data in more readable way and present our game in more playable way. So this was it, the project number 3rd, and this project was on the basis of lesson 4. And in this project we learned a lot of things. We learned how to handle character arrays with the help of pointers. We learn more about if-else statements. We learn about designing some patterns, we learned about understanding of indexing positions and much more. So I hope you guys have liked this project and you have learned something from this. So do let me know in the comments that how was the project. So I'll meet you guys in the next video. Until then, thank you. Bye.